What's up, guys? My name is Luther. You said what? You're I just want to stay in line with what's going on. How I came into the information, just trying to find myself, right? First, I want to go back to like when I was 16 or 17, when we talked about like the indoctrination of America. Like for me, like I had the opportunity to go to a premier institution in Washington, the UW, right? So in my mind, right, like being an athlete, right, was kind of like the hype, right? And then, but after that, after I finished school with the degree or whatever, I failed. I went to prison, right? So when Dre says the despair, a man can't have ultimate bliss without ultimate despair, right? So I'm asking myself, how do I go around? How do I come from around what I think of premier thinkers to now being around past that, you know, having had that same experience? So now it turns into a humbling and assaulting experience. Having to go through my walk through prison after going through a university and flying to hotels and being in stadiums packed out with people, right? So now I'm humble, right? Now you got to take the helmet off, you got to take the jersey off. You got to get at that. You got to give America their stuff. As a black man, on one of the things that the heights you got you can be, right? So, you know, you're in that cell now. Nigga, your jersey number is the DOC number, right? So it's like, okay, how I get here, right? So let me go back, right? So I used to live with my mom, or my dad didn't have a house when I was in high school. So you know, my cousins was in the street, and it was really like the Ricky situation. Boys in the hood, that ball was my ticket out, right? So once that ticket out didn't turn into a ticket, I went back to the hood and started doing what everybody else was doing, right? So now that I'm reflecting on my decision making, right? It's almost crazy now I'm saying this. I might have put a ball before God, right? Not I might have, I think I did, right? As like a thing to be. Right? And Jerry says it all the time, to be, right? But to be an athlete? No, I need more from you, right? So my freshman year at the I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but my freshman year we go 0-12. We don't win a single game. Talk about God's time, right? This ain't never happened in the history of the University of Washington in 200 years. We lose every single game. And I'm supposed to be coming here to play quarterback to lead? Nah, I need you to leave something else, bro. Not on no football field. I know that's what you want to do, and that's, you know, especially in Florida, like football's crazy in Texas, right? Like, they pay me money for that. So, nah, you got leadership skills that I need you to use. Matter of fact, you're not done. Go to prison for 2 years so you can get your master's in people. Right? Go to prison so you can take the Western indoctrination of that's the best education. Now let me education. So that was tough for me to swallow, right? So you know, you read up on your Black economics, your Malcolm X, right? You read up on your WED. You read more than you ever read when you're in prison, even when I was in school, right? So you're reading all these books, right? And then you come out. I got out of jail in maybe 2014, 15. So now you got the BLM. Everything's moving underground, right? I'm like, okay, but you know, you got to get job work. So I started. You know, you got to go. Prisoners, so now you're working at the dump with a BA and a minor in business, right? But I'm working at the dump with the migrants, immigrants, right? So I'm picking up on their cultures and customs, the Susu, right? You bring $100 that week, you bring $100, you bring $100. We got like $3,000, and everybody can break there with each other, right? Weekly. What is your dream? What is your desire? So I'm looking at the black community, right? I'm like, how do we build? What does that look like? One thing they do have when they come here is their culture intact and their language, and sometimes their food, right? So as I'm working this job, I'm on the line picking garbage, but I'm looking at them. They're all eating lunch with each other, right? They're on their phone going, I'm like, who are y'all talking to? They're calling back home. I said, what is home look like? Who is home? Right? Who does make you comfortable, right? So as I'm working this, I end up working my way up the line, like picking garbage, I think $13.50 an hour. The supervisor in a year, worked to $19 an hour. So now I'm leaving the lines. right? Now I'm seeing, I'm getting more understanding of the culture. You got people from Africa, you got people from Venezuela, you got people from everywhere, but I ended up getting into a fight with one of my black brothers who just got out of prison, right? Done had information, so I'm supervising big. He thinking I'm big me, little envy. No, bro. I'm just doing what my job is, right? So I don't have to do what y'all are doing no more, right? So I get out of that, right? I'm talking about my salting right now. I'm coming into the information. Now about the same time, deadly fires are starting, right? 2015, 2016, I'm catching wind, right? And he pops it under me, right? About just being a man, right? It's not about like where you are. So it's like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I want to be garbage, like what the fuck, right? Like, oh my God, right? So he graduates, right? So there's trucks coming in the dump. Let me figure out how to drive a truck. So I get to CDL, right? Rolling down the road, right? But again, this is not what I feel like I'm called to do by the Most High, right? So I drive him for about a year or two, right? Start selling cars, right? So I'm just all salted and all development. Now he's doing conversation with the streets. I'm seeing the law pass. Now he's really getting real, right? So I'm going through my salting. I'm watching Jay do his thing in Seattle, sitting in Seattle. Now, mind you, OGs in Seattle say they talk a lot, right? This guy right here does a lot, right? So in my mind, ain't no OGs in Seattle. There's just not, right? So I'm following, right? so I'm following him, right? So the police accountability passes, right? So I'm like, oh, this is major. Then he started thinking about the Umar Rizzo, right? I'm like, oh, he's really doing work. Then I watch American film. I don't watch it. That's not my intro to Dre. It's not as a pimp. My intro to Dre is like standing on his word and accountability and movement and like liberation. Right? Then I go back and I'm like, oh, that's where the confidence, that's where it don't matter who's around me or who I'm talking to, you're gonna hear me, you're gonna feel me. Right? I said, okay, that makes sense. Right? And then I signed up for the classes and God's been moving in my life like crazy, and I just think it is obedience and submission, right? The longer I listen to the information, the more God allowed me and allowed me to do what it is that I felt like I was here to do on planet Earth, right? Using leadership skills, using communication skills, right? Using even sales, right? So the introduction to the remnant was like, the refining of man. I'm 34 right now. So I've been with the information for whenever since 2015, almost 10 years now, right? And because I got caught up in the street with dudes that I thought might have some direction or motion, it's super hard for me to listen to another grown man. It's like, I'd rather take my L by myself than to say, bro, influence me, or somebody influence me, right? So with the leadership that he was able to, I wouldn't leave I wouldn't tell somebody to do something I wouldn't do if I like him, right? And I know that to be true. So yeah, it was just the SAW team was coming in. I came to 3 out of the 4 conferences, and it's dope every time. So that's how I got to come into the space with Dre and information.
Wow.